Welcome, everyone. I'm glad that you could join us again. This is Karole White at WMAB, and we're trying this out. This is our second session that we've had on the video, and we're going to interview today all about the Michigan Association of Broadcasters and some interesting events we have coming up. I have Jennifer Pressler with us, and Jennifer is the Executive Director of the MAB's programs. Jennifer, tell us a little bit about the Great Lakes Broadcasting Conference coming up in March.
Absolutely. We've got our largest educational program coming up. It's March 13th and 14th in Lansing at the Lansing Center. We have a number of different educational sessions for all types of broadcasting, sales, management, engineering, media production, as well as some career sessions. So a lot of different content, something for everybody, and we're pretty excited about it.
That's really great, and I understand that for the second year, you were able to get the governor of the state, and that's going to be preceded with some type of a panel?
Yes, we were. We're very excited that Governor Snyder is going to be speaking directly to us again this year. He will be closing out the opening keynote session, which will start with an amazing panel. We're really excited about this. Carol Kane with WWJ-TV Detroit is going to be moderating a panel of business leaders talking about reinvention, the future of Michigan. Included on the panel, we have Peter Secchia as well as Doug Rothwell, and we're looking at a few other people as well, too, to round it out. So that'll be really informative and really something meaty session for everybody to attend.
Yes, I've seen Peter Secchia speak before, and he's really good, and both
good.
Doug. And so everybody out there, there is something at this conference for everyone. We want to be sure that you register. Jennifer, how can they register?
You can register at our website, which is www.michmab, which is michmab.com. When you go to our homepage, you'll see right in the center, there's an image of a light bulb that says reinvention. Go ahead, click on that, and that'll take you to all of the information.
Terrific. Well, I look forward to seeing all of you here. And then I'd like to talk to you a little bit next about some of the engineering sessions that we have.
Thank you, Carol.
We're here today talking to you about the Great Lakes Broadcasting Conference, and I'm very fortunate to have been able to snag Larry away from all of his work right now. And I have Larry Eslack, Director of Technology for the MAB. Larry, tell us a little bit about all the engineering sessions that are going to be at the Great Lakes Broadcasting Conference.
Well, Carol, it's a packed house this year. We've got plenty of things to talk about. We've kind of blended our engineering conference between the traditional engineer and those who are now on their way up to that position, perhaps because of downsizing or other job duties that have been combined. There are people out there now that are being asked to be chief operators, for example. They don't know what to do, but that's a finable offense. So we thought it'd be a good idea for people to become more familiar with how transmitters operate, even though they may not be heavily technically inclined, as well as what jobs they're supposed to be doing as chief operator. There's plenty, though, for real engineers that are already out there in the field. We'll be talking about IT as it continues to become more and more of a cloud that many people are embracing, because it keeps a lot of the hardware off your premises.
Well, we are too at the MAB.
That's right. So we think that there's a good blend. Also, of all things, we're actually going to talk about wire again. Now, what do you think about wire?
Wire?
We all get wired, right? Okay, from time to time. That's been broadcasting's major thing, tons of wire. But it's changed because we're now all digital. So the wire that we use must change too. We have a fellow from Belden to come in to tell us that wire has changed.
Well, that's always been a high point of the Great Lakes Broadcasting Conference every year. And you remember back in 1985,
Oh, yeah.
When we created this whole thing.
I think I had a few less gray hair.
Yes, and that was at the Sheridan Hotel. Some of you out there might remember that. And we were maybe not the first, but one of the first states to combine a conference with an engineering conference just on a state level. And it's continued very successfully. And I want to personally thank you for all your help, because you were there when we cut the ribbon. And here we are still together today. Hey, Larry, tell me, what's the big issue? What's the very next thing that's going to happen to broadcasters technically?
Well, for many of them, for all of them for sure, if they haven't done it already, is the EAS changes.
Yes.
Those happen at the end of June, or must be in place by then. There'll be tons of questions. I'll make sure that I talk about that.
Terrific. And you have, you open up with beer and bowl, And that's a great place for the engineers to talk and get to know one another, exchange ideas, and how to, best use duct tape and all the various things that everybody
Part of
does.
every toolbox has
Oh,
some.
terrific, terrific. Well, I would just want to ask each and every one of you out there to think about sending your entire engineering staff. Larry, you were a chief engineer yourself. Why should an engineer, go away, take time away from their busy day and come to this conference?
So I think if one good idea happens, or you save your station some fines, for instance, there's some changes in wireless microphones that need to be registered now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's not just for radio, that's TV too. Of course, TV news gathering all the time use wireless mics, things like that. So I think that there's going to be one or two good reasons for each of us to be there.
Well, that's terrific, just terrific. And we're really glad at the MAB that we can bring this to you and that we can bring it to you at a very, very reasonable price. So I want to see you on March the 14th at the Great Lakes Broadcasting Conference, and come a little early and come to Beer and Bull on the evening of the 13th. Thank you for joining us today. Goodbye.